Hey guys, how you doing? So you know JWST, the telescope? The space telescope? The James Webb Space Telescope? The one that looks like a death laser constructed by a race of sentient bee people. Yes, that one. Turns out it maybe just found the best evidence of alien life in the universe we've ever found. But we've been through this sort of thing before, right? If I had a penny for every claim about aliens that turned out to be nothing, I'd have enough money to buy the History Channel and rename it the Undiagnosed Autism Channel. So what did JWST actually just find, and how sure are we about that recent finding? Let's talk about it. So the claim is we just found a planet with a potential biosignature on it. Now I know humanity might have some questions. Do they have oil we can steal? How many tariffs can we put on them? How f***able are these aliens exactly? But let's not get ahead of ourselves, let me set the scene. 124 light years away there's a red dwarf star, about half the age of our solar system, called K2-18, with two known planets. One of the planets, K2-18b, was discovered by the Kepler Space Telescope in 2015 when we saw that planet transit in front of its star. It orbits pretty close to the star, it has a year that only lasts 33 days, but red dwarfs are small and cool and dim, so you need to be a lot closer to them to be in their habitable zone. Normally, red dwarfs are considered a bit shitter than sun-like stars because newly formed red dwarfs are the celestial equivalent of fat babies screaming and vomiting all over their solar system, probably blasting the atmosphere off any nearby planets before they get the chance to evolve all the cool stuff we have, like cephalopods, those fish in the Amazon that swim up your dick hole, racism, some other stuff. Now, there's some debate over exactly what type of planet K2-18b is. It's definitely bigger than Earth, it has way more mass, way more surface gravity, just more f***ing junk in the trunk, you know? But it could be one of two things. It could be very similar to the ice giants Uranus and Neptune from our system, just smaller and warmer. Sub-Neptunes are actually super common in the galaxy despite us not having one in our system. Sub-Neptunes is in small Neptune-like planets, not someone King Neptune pins down and shags. But this planet could also be a type which is hypothesized to exist, but we've never definitely actually seen before, a type of planet called a Haitian planet. I'll talk about that in a minute. Sorry to interrupt, this is just a quick message to say, statistically speaking, you're probably not subscribed, so I'll make you a deal. Press the subscribe button and I won't come over to your house and do this. Alright, thanks, back to the video. When we look for life in the universe, there's two categories of thing we're looking for: biosignatures and technosignatures. Technosignatures are things like encoded communications, infrared emissions from Dyson spheres and interstellar infrastructure, just basically evidence of intelligent, advanced civilizations. A technosignature would be like finding evidence of Thanos and the Predator trading online Pokemon cards over the galactic internet or some shit. We've pretty unambiguously never found anything pointing to advanced alien civilizations, which is broadly why I think humans are very early to the universe in terms of being an intelligent species. I'm using intelligent in open quotes here. You can judge a lot about a civilization by who they put in charge, and the current most powerful person on Earth isn't the brightest knife in the crayon box, is he? Anyway, that's technosignatures. Biosignatures, on the other hand, are evidence of more primitive life. Animals and plants and fungus and bacteria. Obviously, their impact on the universe is smaller, so they're harder to see, but they could be out there. An alien beaver dam has got to be pretty damn big to see it from 120 light years away, but there are ways that we can look for basic life on a planet through methods like spectroscopy. Like when you look out to space with a telescope and a planet just so happens to pass in front of the star from our perspective, a tiny amount of that star's light goes through the planet's atmosphere before eventually making it to the telescope. So if your equipment is sensitive enough, you can analyze the light that's passed through the alien planet's atmosphere and figure out what molecules the atmosphere is made out of. In the case of K2-18b, we've already figured out that the planet is larger than the Earth, likely has a hydrogen-rich atmosphere with clouds of water vapor as well as CO2 and methane. Now this is consistent with a Haitian planet, a type of planet predicted to exist primarily in red dwarf star systems. Haitian planets have hydrogen atmospheres, but they're totally covered in oceans. It's basically a giant water world, like this thing's wetter than I'm not going to finish that sentence. If this is a Haitian world, then obviously that would explain the clouds of water vapor, and the CO2 could potentially be a biosignature too, although it's also possible to produce via geological processes. In astrobiology, it's good form to assume that if aliens can produce a result, and something else can also produce the same result, it's almost certainly the second thing and not the aliens. It's never, ever aliens until it is aliens, you know? If your dog finds a human arm floating in the river, it probably just means it's time to move house, not throw your son into a volcano as tribute to the Galactic Emperor or some shit. Now, if you had life on a planet like this, it would be aquatic. There's no land. I guess life could evolve wings straight out of the ocean, but you'd imagine most of the biomass of the planet would be in the water. So what would we expect to find in the atmosphere of a planet with weird aquatic alien life? We might expect oxygen. When the Earth was about the age K2-18b is now, the Great Oxygenation Event was happening. Basically, a bunch of life forms first started producing the Earth's atmospheric oxygen, so that more complex life later could eventually use it to get bigger and smarter. Imagine if all the world's possums started sucking farts out of everyone's ass, and it somehow turned them all into geniuses so they could conquer the world. Basically that. However, this alien planet doesn't really seem to have atmospheric oxygen as far as I can tell. CO2 maybe, but again, that can be produced by other means. So if something is going on there, it's very different from what went on here, although I suppose you'd expect that from a water world with a hydrogen atmosphere. Kind of a weird place. So what's the big deal about this place anyway? Well, a couple of years ago, we discovered this planet might have something odd in the atmosphere, something called dimethyl sulfide. It's a molecule produced on Earth by life forms, mostly by phytoplankton. Wikipedia describes it as having a disagreeable odor, which is honestly kind of relatable. Now, it looked like dimethyl sulfide could be present on K2-18b, but the results were contested because other scientists weren't really getting the same results when they got a chance to analyze the same data. But now we've got new data, which is apparently a 3 sigma detection of dimethyl sulfide, or potentially another similar compound called dimethyl disulfide, which for our purposes, who gives a shit, it's basically the same thing. In other words, given the new data, there's arguably a 99.7% chance this molecule is really there, but that's provided they analyze the data right, which itself is still very debatable right now. Plus, science is pretty stringent, so for science to quote-unquote know something from a detection like this, we basically need to reduce the odds of the measurement being wrong to such ridiculously low odds that they rival the odds of your mother ever overcoming her addiction to processed cheese. We're going to need a fairly unambiguous 5 sigma detection for this to become a properly accepted scientific finding, which basically means we need it to be 99.99994% confident. I'm not even that confident I'm going to get through this recording session without shitting myself. But if these findings turn out to be true, there's a 20% higher concentration of this molecule in this alien atmosphere than there is of it on Earth. If the data does turn out to be analysed correctly, it pretty much means the molecule really is there. If I told you there's a 99.7% chance I just shit in your pillowcase, what are the odds of you not checking before you squelch your head into it? Anyway, assuming the molecule really is there, what does it mean? Well, the molecule could be a sign of life, or it could be caused by some unknown chemical process. The readings we have show enough of it that it would need to be being produced on a gigantic scale, because dimethyl sulfide is not stable in an atmosphere, and at least on Earth it's only really produced by life. Then again, we did find this shit on a comet that one time, so who knows, maybe there's a weird alien volcano farting this shit into the atmosphere. We basically just need to point a lot more science at this planet before we're actually going to know what's going on. It is worth noticing that the same researcher to hypothesize the existence of Haitian planets in the first place is also the same guy now claiming this planet is one and has chemicals on it predicted by the models of life on a Haitian planet. Now, different studies reanalyzed the data collected about this planet from previous years and concluded that this planet is actually just a pretty typical hot mini Neptune. It has some water vapor on it, but you know, that's about it, arguably. In fact, most researchers seem to think this planet is either an insanely hot gas dwarf or a super Earth covered in lava. So yeah, depending on how you look at this whole situation, it amounts to one of two things. Either there's one visionary researcher fighting to prove the reality of life-bearing Haitian planets, or it's just a guy that came up with a thing, now insisting the thing is real despite no one else being able to verify it. It's like, oh, I drew a picture of this cool animal, do you like it? Oh, I saw one over there! Oh, where'd he go? Oh, it's over there! Oh, you keep missing him! Oh, he's there though. Isn't this just a pencil drawing of a fish with a guy's face on it? No, I have data backing up that it's real! Can I see the data? This is just another pencil drawing, and he's telling the media he's just proven the existence of fish people. Oh, great. So anyway, my advice in general is, yeah, this finding is pretty cool, but maybe chill the f*** out about it because it could just as easily be nothing. Give it a couple of years, let science do its thing. Trust the process. Zan, why do all of your videos end in a way which is either existentially terrifying or which shits on all of our dreams? I don't know. Why are your dreams so easy to shit on? Anyway, that'll do it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe if you want. Big thanks to my elite level channel member Thunderbolt 22A10. On his planet, he's revered as a god of fertility, and he's also so strong he once peeled a man like an orange. Thanks as well to all my other channel members. If you're still watching, feel free to join the channel. I've got a bunch of cool YouTube membership perks if you're interested in that kind of thing. As always, I'll catch you in the next one. Over and out.